Hello guys and welcome to a new video of EZPowerBI.com. Today we are going to discuss data sources and get data feature of Power BI. As you know that in most of the cases whenever you are working on Power BI you need some data to present your visual or create your visuals. So getting data from different sources is of utmost importance, and our topic today is related to get data feature of Power BI. Get data is the most widely used feature of Power BI. In reality, this is the first step before you actually start your visualization journey. It is used to pull your data into Power BI. In my videos, I will be mostly using Excel, CSV, Web, and SQL Server, which are most widely used data sources. And these are very much, you can say, helpful in understanding the most common data sources. And once you are comfortable with these data sources, you can go and explore other data sources because there are plenty of data sources available. Like you can connect with SharePoint, you can connect with SAP, you can connect with other REST APIs and stuff like that. So there are a lot many options available in Power BI. So before we start our journey, we have to first clear our concept regarding data sources. The first and foremost thing are the best practices we must follow. So the first thing we should consider is, like, if you own your data, like if you're not using someone else's data and you are using your own data, it's better that you should arrange it properly before pulling it into Power BI, because you need a lot of efforts to clean and transform your data. So there are scenarios where different departments are making similar files which need to be used for consolidation and aggregation. In such scenarios, you should implement data governance policy within your organization so that files can be easily merged and appended in Power BI. We will discuss data transformation feature in our next videos. This video is limited to data sources and bringing data into our visualizations. The first and the most common data source is Excel, and all of us are very much familiar with Excel. You can get data from your spreadsheets, but it is better you use table feature of Excel, because once you are using table feature of Excel, you can skip that data transformation step to a very large extent, which will be required if you are pulling data from a standard worksheet. So if you are using multiple tables, you can also verify your data model within Excel to avoid any issue in Power BI. The second and most common one, you can say, after Excel is CSV, because nowadays we are hearing more about IoT and other sensors and similar devices. So most of these devices, whether you are proximity car, attendance machines, and biometrics, all these devices are actually generating data in the form of CSV files. So if you are using that particular data in your transformations, or you can say your visualization, you need CSV file. But in fact, once you are using CSV file, you might need some steps for transformation. And definitely once we are moving towards the practical demo, we are going to discuss like what basic steps are required for CSV file to transform and use it in your visualization. Probably in some cases you are not owning that particular data, or you are importing this data from certain devices, so you cannot do much with those CSV files. So apart from Excel, on CSV you might need a few steps to transform this data. The third one is the web, because you might get data from different web sources where the content is available on the website in the form of table, or sometimes you are calling API through a URL, which you may have to add some additional parts in your call. When accessing web data, you have to be sure about the section table you need, as sometimes lot many options are available on single page. So before actually getting that particular data, you can evaluate that particular web page. from where you are getting data, or if you are using APIs, which API call is best to retrieve data, because in case of API or JSON, you might be having different options and different parameters you are supposed to use. So web data sources may require a detailed presentation, which I will plan in future. The next one is, in most of the cases in professional environment, once you are using your real data from certain applications, in most of the cases you will be using SQL Server. For learning purpose, probably I'm going to concentrate more on Excel and CSV and probably web. But in future, once we are moving toward intermediate level and advanced level, I'll be covering SQL Server as well. So it includes normal databases as well as data cubes if you are using, or if you are involved in SQL Server analysis services. And when this data source is used, you have option to select import or direct query option, which may be selected based on respective scenarios. So in future, or you can say in our next video, we will be focusing towards these topics like the get data and data sources, and I'll be giving you practical demonstration like how we can pull data from these data sources in our visualization. Thank you and keep watching and subscribe my channel.